Hey guys! So as you can see, my hair looks a lot more red than it did before. To show the real redness. There we go. Yes, so this is actually my red hair color now. And I dyed it 2 days ago. So after months and months of research, I finally got the courage and everything I needed to do it. So yes, 2 days ago I finally dyed my hair red. So this video is basically just going to be me going through all the products and pretty much the process of how to get this hair color. But before I get into the video, I wanted to mention that I finally reached 200 subscribers. So I actually reached 200 a very long time ago, but I was a little bit too lazy to make a video announcing it. So I'm gonna announce it now. So thank you so much if you are subscribed to this channel. It means the whole world to me that you guys are enjoying my videos. I am definitely not gonna let you guys down with my videos, and I'm thanking you so much for all the support that you've given me. So yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna get this video started now because I have a lot to get through. Okay, so of course, in order to dye your hair red, you're gonna need a dye. So the dye that I used is the Loreal HiColor Hilights for dark hair only in Magenta. I actually got 2 boxes when I went to Sally's, and I used the first box to dye my hair red. But this is just kind of like my backup. This is what I'm going to be using to retouch my hair when it starts to fade. It's dark hair only, so basically if you have brown to black hair, that is when you're going to need this. So if you already have pre-bleached or pre-lightened hair, I wouldn't suggest this. This is kind of optional or personal preference in a way. I got Magenta red, which is basically a more burgundy, pink, purplish undertone red. A lot of other people use a regular red color, and I was gonna go with that. I don't really think it looks best on me, like an orange undertone. I suggest you get with whatever color you want. So yeah, I went with Magenta, and I think it turned out very nice. I got this at Sally's, or my local Sally's, for $8.19. Since I got 2 boxes, I got it for $16.38. So that is what I got for my dye. Okay, so with this dye, you're going to need a developer. This dye actually does contain bleach, and I mean, it needs bleach in order to lighten your hair to get that red color. And to activate that bleach, you're going to need a developer. On the box, it recommends a 30 volume developer, which is what I actually went with. So this is the Ion Sensitive Scalp 30 volume cream developer. It doesn't really matter if you use a cream developer or whatever else kind there is, powder or something like that. But I went with the cream only because it's a lot more easier to work with, and I think it's a little bit more efficient. This was $7.39 at my Sally's, and this is a huge bottle. As you can see, this is 32 fluid ounces, and oh my god, this is so heavy, so I'm gonna put this down. For developer, what it actually does is it activates the bleach, like I said, and the numbers do matter. So let me talk about that a little bit. Since I got a 30 volume, what it does is it actually changes your hair to make it either go 3 shades lighter or 3 shades darker. And if you have a 40, it will go 4 shades. If you have a 20, 2 shades, pretty much that, and the whole same thing. The higher you go, the more damaged your hair will get. Let's say your hair is already pretty damaged, you're kind of skeptical about using a high-level developer. I suggest you go a little bit lower, or just take care of your hair a lot better than you did before, because yeah, developer is very damaging and you have to be extra careful with it. I just went with the Ion Sensitive because I think it's a lot cheaper than the other ones. Actually, I'm not even sure. Don't quote me on it, but I feel like it's cheaper than the other brands. The next thing is pretty much just common sense. You're gonna need a mixing bowl. I got the Sally brand, and this was $2.79. So yeah, I got just a regular black mixing bowl. And then another common sense tool you're gonna need is a tinting brush. So for me, this was kind of optional. I wanted to get it because it's a little bit more professional and it'll help you out for the first kind of seconds. But right after, I kind of got rid of it and started using my gloved hands. This is really cheap as well. This was $1.89 at Sally's. Just another Sally beauty brand, and it was extra wide. So this is pretty useful, but I mean, you don't have to use a brush if you don't want to. I just really recommend it because it'll help you out a little bit. This is also an optional thing. So this is a measuring cup, and this is the ColorTrak Tools one. This was $2.29 at Sally's, and it's just basically just a tiny little measuring cup, and I use this to measure my developer. You can definitely measure the developer on here. I just wanted to get myself a measuring cup because it's a little bit more accurate. And then this is also optional. Damn. Whew. Okay, this is a mini whisk. Well, some people suggested me using a fork. Now, I was actually going to, but I don't want to poison my family. So I went to get a mini whisk, and it wasn't that bad. I forgot the price because it's not in the receipt, but it was also pretty much $2 to $3, I'm guessing, and it's a lot more useful. It really breaks down the particles in your dye. So I think it really did a great job, and it really helped me out. So I suggest you get a whisk, but if you don't want to and you want to save some money, you don't have to. Now, this is something that is pretty important, but only if your hair is a different color. So this is a protein filler. Now, it's not necessarily the actual protein filler, and I did research on this. It was in Nicole Guerrero. If you don't know her, it's nguerrero19. So this is kind of like a protein filler. I'm not gonna necessarily say it is, but it does the exact same thing as a protein filler, and it's the Ion Color Brilliance pre-color treatment. So what it basically does is it evens the color out and leaves you with the same color from roots to end. Now, when I sprayed it on, I kind of missed my roots, so my roots are a lot brighter. And the also thing is because this is virgin hair, so your roots are virgin hair. It's never been dyed before, which is the reason why it'll come out a lot brighter. So if you have dyed your hair before, you might want to use a protein filler if you have it, if you live in the US. But if you live in Canada where they don't have protein filler, I really suggest this because it works amazingly well, and it smells like green apples. This was $6.49, so it's a little bit more expensive than I thought it was, but I mean, it was still definitely worth the money. So if you are planning to dye your hair red but have previously dyed it before, I suggest you go with this because it'll definitely help out even the color. And when you spray it in, do not miss a single spot, because if you do, you might be left with a brighter patch or a darker patch. Next thing is also pretty optional. I mean, I really thought it was useful for me. It's just processing caps. So this is the Salon Care Professional one. I got these for $1.49 and it contains 3. I used up 1 already. But basically what you do is you place this over your head after you applied all the dye. It just keeps the heat and helps the color process into your hair a little bit better. Of course, you can use a plastic bag. You can use wait, that's it. I got this for free. So my local Sally's was having a sale, and it was, if you got 2 Ion products, you got a free one. Red dye stains your skin really badly, so I thought, hey, let's try out a stain remover. So this is the Ion Color Brilliance stain remover, and basically what it does is it removes the stain or the color and stains off of your skin. So I use a tissue, a cotton pad, a paper towel. I just use any kind of thing that you will use to wipe, and I just put this either on your stain or on the paper towel or whatever you're using to wipe, and you just rub it, and then the color will come right off your skin. So if you are thinking, I am gonna make a huge mess on my skin with my red dye, get a stain remover, and especially get this one because it works so well. Okay, so that is what I use to achieve my red hair. Of course, if you have red hair or if you're planning to dye your hair red, you're going to need a color care shampoo, because red hair dye doesn't stay in your hair for a long time and it fades super fast. So if you're one of those people who have to wash their hair every single day, I'm sad to say you probably can't dye your hair red, because that red color will fade in like a week. And I was gonna snap there, but I decided not to. If you're a person that washes their hair every day, I really don't suggest you dye your hair red unless you use a dry shampoo. But if you do and you're still not gonna use a dry shampoo, use cold water. I know it's a pain, and it was a huge pain washing my hair with cold water and feeling that freezing ice cold water on my head and on my scalp. It was definitely not the most comfortable thing. But if you want to keep your red hair, you gotta do what you gotta do. Color Care shampoo. The one that I use, I don't have it with me. It's in the bathroom, and I was just too lazy to get it because the huge bottle, and I'm not going to carry this all the way to my room and then all the way back. But the Color Care shampoo that I use is the Matrix one. I don't suggest the ones at Sally's because I'm pretty sure they don't work as well. So I use the Matrix shampoo and conditioner for Color Care, and I think it works pretty well. It smells really good. Thing is, it's so pricey, and that's only because I think Matrix is a kind of a higher brand shampoo and conditioner line, or hair line I mean. I got mine at London Drugs for $15.99 each. So altogether it was about $30 to $40, and this was because it was on sale. So be careful if you want to go for Matrix. It's really, really expensive. So for me, I'm gonna say it's sort of worth the money because it wasn't too expensive because it worked really well, but it's still very, very expensive, and that's not something I would get any other day. And then this is the Loreal Feria Professional Color Moisturizing Treatment. So this is what I use to kind of regenerate my hair after I dyed it. So right after I washed out the color with cold water, I applied this all over my hair. It says to leave it on for 2 minutes, but I left it on for a lot longer than that, probably about 5 to 10 minutes. So yeah, I mean, this is really good and it has a ton of great reviews as well. This works great because it's also known for colored hair. So this is really good as well, and I thought it worked really great. So yeah, you can get this, and this was at Sally's. It was also pretty cheap. I'm not really 100% sure because I got it a long time ago, but this is also really good. So I suggest this if you want a hair mask. If you are thinking of adding more color into your hair, I suggest you get a semi-permanent dye. So the one that I got is also from Sally's. This is the Beyond the Zone Pro Formula Color Jamz in Crimson Storms. You can see that it's like a magenta red, and that's perfect because that's the color that I used. So this is a semi-permanent dye, and basically what I did was I poured this all into my conditioner, and it probably sounds really ridiculous, but it works because it once you put the conditioner in your hair, it should kind of put or deposit a little bit more color onto your hair. So I mean, of course it's not going to be super bright red again. That's what it should do. It kind of just puts a little bit more color back into your hair every time you shower. So that's a good thing. It should kind of reduce fading a lot more. Now I'm going to talk about what to do. So my first initial plan for this video and for red hair, I was going to film me doing everything and going through it. But it was just so much work because I had to position the camera in so many different ways, and I really honestly just wanted to slap the dye on, wash it out, and then come out with red hair. And I felt really bad because I wasn't able to film anything that I did, but I'm still going to explain what to do. I'm just going to get it a little bit more detailed and more thoroughly just to kind of really get into how I did it and help you guys out if you have any questions. So the first thing you want to do is you want to apply Vaseline or conditioner. So yeah, just a regular type of Vaseline. I applied Vaseline around my ears, around my hairline, around my neck, and just basically the parts that your hair will touch. So yeah, you will definitely need that. Then you're obviously going to need to wear a t-shirt that you do not care about. So I went with a brown t-shirt. Now you're going to use your protein filler or whatever it is and spray your hair like crazy. So you want to spray it and not miss any spot. You want to get your hair completely damp. And then you're going to start mixing your dye. So this is definitely going to depend on how much hair or how long your hair is. So my hair is long, but I do not have a lot, so I only use 1 box. If you have a lot, you might want to use 2 boxes. 1 box contains 1.2 ounces of cream dye. I'm just going to do it right now, so let me see. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and if you can see right here, there's a little pointy thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to twist it off and then flip it and then stab the tube. Yeah, you're going to stab it. You're just going to poke a hole, and this is where the dye is going to come out. So you're just going to squeeze every single bit of dye into your mixing bowl. So this is going to be a little bit difficult. I thought it was going to be really easy, but it's kind of hard. If you're strong, it probably won't be that hard, but for me it was because I'm weak. And then you're going to measure with your measuring cup. If you don't want to, then you don't have to, but you're going to measure your developer at a 1-to-1 ratio. So with 1.2 ounces, you're going to need 2.4 ounces of developer. So that is basically 70 mils. So you're going to pour it into your dye, use your whisk or your fork, whatever you're going to use, and mix that up and really mix it well, because like I said, the particles in the red dye is really hard and big. So you're gonna have to really mix it and do not leave any chunks. You're just gonna whisk it until it comes into kind of a whipped formula, kind of like whipped cream, but it was still like really loose and liquidy. So you want to make sure that it's completely smooth and it's kind of like whipped cream. Then you're just going to use your tinting brush. What I did is separate or section my hair into 2 layers. So I worked with my bottom layers, and then I moved that to the side and then pulled down my top layer, and then I started from my ends to my roots, because since your hair on the top of your head is all virgin hair, that color will take in a lot more better. So that brighter color is gonna end up being at your roots, and that's not going to be very attractive unless you sprayed it with the pre-color treatment. So I start from my ends all the way to my roots, and then I just put all of my hair up like this, and then slap the rest of the dye onto wherever I needed it. And then this is when I dropped the brush and used my fingers, my gloved fingers, okay, and then I really kind of massaged it in, because I do not want to miss any spots. So yeah, I really got into it, and then I took off my gloves, got out my processing caps, and then placed it over my head. So you're going to leave it in your hair for 30 minutes, and of course it's going to be a little bit irritating because, like I said, there is bleach in this dye, so it is going to be feeling a little bit itchy, a little bit tingly. It's definitely not going to hurt, but it is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So you're going to leave that for 30 minutes, and then you're going to rinse it out with cold water until the water is clear. And then, this is optional. If you don't want to, then you don't have to, but then you apply the hair mask on for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you rinse it out with cold water again. Then you're just going to let it kind of air dry, make it a little bit damp, and then you're just going to apply your regular hair products into your hair, and then voila, you're done. So yeah, that's basically all I had to do. It was a pretty long process. It took me for every single thing, like spraying, mixing, applying, leaving it on. It probably took me about an hour to an hour and a half, and it's kind of a long process, but you will really get into the hang of it and think, hey, it's not that bad. I definitely was freaking out when I had the brush in my hand with the dye on it, and I was like, and then I got it on and I was like, oh, it's already on, I can't back out now. So I just kept on going, and yeah, it's honestly a very easy process to go through if you know exactly what to do. So basically that is it. Super long video, I know. That is how I got my red hair, and I want to thank you guys again for getting me to 200 subscribers and keeping it going for me, so thank you so much. So leave your requests on what videos for me to do, because I'm kind of running out of ideas. But if you have any ideas on what videos you want me to do, then please leave it in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Now, I don't think it matters if you use a cream developer or pore. Did I say pore? And you're a little bit kind of skeptic. So this is also. This is also. I can't say also. Also. Okay, let me see. Okay, and whoa. My ears just like pop and now I hear like a beep. Ew. I feel like a Pantene commercial right now. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going crazy now, lol. Hello. If you guys have any requests on what videos for me to make, please let me know in the comments and I will try my best to make them. Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go. Look at that red.